A very good morning, students. In this video I will explain a problem on branch account when head office sends goods to branch at invoice price. This is problem number 2. First I will read out the problem. A cloth company of Gwalior has its branch at Delhi. Here the head office is Gwalior and the branch office is Delhi. And they invoice the goods to branch at cost plus 25%. Here the profit percentage is how much? 25%. This is the profit percentage and which is based on cost price. So the next transaction is stock on 1/4/2013, debtors on 1/4/2013, cash on 1/4/2013, furniture on 1/4/2013. This stock, debtor, cash and furniture, these are assets and they're given at opening date. So which means opening assets. And we know that all opening assets should be debited in branch account. And the next transaction is goods received from head office. Here branch receiving goods from head office. If anything received by branch, that should be debited. If anything given by branch, that should be credited. So here branch receiving goods, that should be debited. And the next one, goods returned to head office. Here branch returning some portion of goods to head office, that should be credited. The next item, cash received from debtors, and one more, cash sales. So these are the income for branch. So one is branch generating income by receiving cash from debtors and through cash sales. So these two activities are the income for branch. If any cash generated by branch, that should be remitted to head office. Branch ke yaude income barli, that income should be remitted to head office. Here branch generating income by these two activities. The next transaction is credit sales, discount allowed and goods returned by debtors. Here goods returned by debtors is nothing but sales return. So in branch account, we should not taken into consideration some items. The first one is credit sales, discount allowed, goods returned by debtors, and one more item, that is bad debts. These four items should not be reported in branch account, but these four items should be reported in debtors account. So ignore these items in branch account. The next transaction is expenses paid by head office to meet rent, salary and printing and stationery. And we know that according to nominal account rule, we should debit all these expenses under the head to bank. The next transaction is petty expenses paid by branch manager, 670 rupees. Here the branch paid 670 rupees as expenses. So this should be deducted from the opening balance of cash in order to calculate the closing balance of cash. Here the opening balance of cash is 960 rupees. From this 960 rupees, the branch paid 670 rupees as expenses. The remaining balance will be the closing balance of cash. And the last one, they have given the rate of depreciation for furniture 10% per annum. This will be used for calculating the closing value of furniture. But in this problem, the opening assets are stock, debtor, cash and furniture. But in closing, these assets were not given, whether they're given or not. If you recorded opening assets in branch account, the same assets should be reported at closing date also. So here, closing debtor is not given, and we know that the closing debtor can be calculated by preparing debtors account. And the opening cash is given, but closing cash is not given. The closing cash can be calculated by deducting this 670 from opening value of cash. And the closing furniture is not given, so closing furniture can be calculated by deducting the depreciation. So here the problem is the opening stock is given, but the closing stock is not given. So how to calculate closing stock? That I will explain later. First I will prepare debtors account in order to calculate closing debtors. So this is debtors account, and I explained what are the items will appear in debtors account in class only. In debit side, we should record opening debtors. The opening debtor is 21,000, which are given in the problem. Because the debtor is asset, we know that the opening asset should be debited. And the one more item, credit sales. So credit sales increases the value of debtors. That's why credit sales should be debited. And in credit side, cash received from debtors, discount allowed, sales return, and bad debts if any. In this problem, bad debts is not given. Record cash received from debtors, discount allowed, and sales return. These item will reduces the value of debtors. That's why these items should be credited. Now make balance. You will get the closing debtor will be 7,200. 7,200 is the balancing figure that will be considered as closing debtors. Now move on to calculation of closing stock. So opening stock is given, but closing stock is not given. So this is the prescribed format for calculating closing stock. First take opening stock. So opening stock is how much? 36,000, which was given in the problem. For this 36,000, head office sends goods to branch. ಇಲ್ಲಿ head office branch ಗೆ goods ಕಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. How much? 1,90,000. That should be added. From this, the branch returned some portion of goods to head office. The return should be deducted. Now, the value of stock at branch is 2,23,500. I repeat, the opening stock is 36,000 and head office sent goods to branch worth of rupees 1,90,000, and from this 2,500 worth of goods were returned to head office. Now the value of stock at branch is 2,23,500. From this 2,23,500, the branch made sales. When we made sales, goods were going out of the business. That's why sales should be deducted, whether it is cash sales or credit sales. Cash sales is 1,20,000, credit sales is 60,000. Now the value of stock will be 43,500. So by this 43,500, some debtors are returned the goods. Means some customers were returned the goods. That will be considered as sales return. Here the goods are coming back to the branch. The sales return should be added. Now the value of closing stock will be 44,600. Once again I repeat, the opening stock is 36,000. So and goods sent to branch is 1,90,000. That should be added. And goods returned by branch is 2,500. That should be deducted because the goods were going out of the business. Now the value of stock is 2,23,500. From this amount we should deduct sales, because when we made sales, goods were going out of the business. Now the value of stock is 43,500. For this we should add sales return, because when goods were returned, we should increase the value of stock. That's why sales return should be added. Now the closing stock will be 44,600. Now come to branch account. In branch account, all the opening assets are debited. In problem, they have given stock, debtors, cash and furniture at opening date. So all the opening assets are debited. And the next one, goods received from head office. A branch receiving goods from head office, so that should be debited. So that nothing but goods sent to branch, 1,90,000. Here branch receiving goods, that should be debited. And the next one, goods returned to head office. Here goods returned to head office. Branch returning goods to head office worth rupees 2,500. That should be credited. I credited here by goods returned by branch, 2,500. And the next one, cash received from debtors and cash sales. These are the income for branch. If any cash generated by branch, that should be remitted to head office. That should be given to head office. So that should be credited under the head by bank. So in credit side under the head by bank, I recorded cash sales and cash received from debtors. The total is 1,92,000. The next, cash sales, credit sales and discount allowed not reported in branch account. Ignore it. credit sales, discount allowed, and goods returned by debtors. These items should not be reported in branch account. Ignore these 3 items. And the next one, expenses paid by head office. We know that according to nominal account rule, we should debit all expenses in branch account, debit side, and the head to bank, debit all expenses. The total is 9,220 rupees. Next, petty expenses paid by the branch manager. This should be used to calculate the closing value of cash, and the depreciation of furniture is given. Now the time to record the closing assets. So record closing assets here. So opening stock is given, but closing stock is not given in the problem, but we have calculated closing stock. Here we have calculated closing stock. How much closing stock? 44,600. So this 44,600 should be reported here. 44,600. Next, opening debtor is given, but closing debtor is not given, but we have calculated closing debtor by preparing debtor's account, 7,200. So opening cash is given, but closing cash is not given. How to calculate closing cash? So see here, opening cash is 960 rupees. From this 960 rupees, the branch paid the expenses of 670. So 960 minus 670, the remaining balance will be the closing balance of cash. And the opening balance of furniture is 3,000, but closing balance of furniture is not given. So deduct 10% depreciation, that is 300 rupees. You will get 2,700 as closing value of furniture. Now remove profit portion which were included in opening stock, closing stock, goods sent to branch, then goods returned by branch. First, remove profit portion which are included in opening stock. Opening stock is 36,000, which includes both cost and profit. Remove that profit portion from this 36,000. So in opposite direction, write down by stock reserve. So stock reserve, how much opening stock is 36,000. So 36,000 multiplied by, what's the profit portion? Profit is 25% on cost. So I calculated here how to calculate gross profit. Here profit is cost plus 25%, and we know the equation, sales is always equals to cost plus profit. Sales is always equal to cost plus profit. So what's the profit percentage? Profit percentage is 25%. This 25 profit percentage is based on what? This 25% is based on cost. So cost will be 100. Cost will be 100. So what's the value of sales? Sales will be 125. And in this problem, we are removing profit from selling price. So that's why profit divided by sales. So profit is 25, sales is 125. So 25 divided by 125. So opening stock is 36,000. So 36,000 multiplied by 25 divided by 125. So here the stock reserve is how much? 7,200. Now deduct profit portion from closing stock. So closing stock is 44,600. From this remove profit portion. So for this I have to make debit entry. So in debit side, write down to stock reserve. What's the closing stock? 44,600. So 44,600 multiplied by 25 by 125. The amount will be in 8,920. Next, to goods sent to branch. Goods sent to branch is 1,90,000. So remove profit included in this amount. So in opposite direction, by goods sent to branch, 1,90,000 multiplied by 25 by 125. So amount will be 38,000. And the last one, the goods returned by branch. How much? 2,500. Remove profit portion which are included in 2,500. In opposite direction, to goods sent to branch. Write down goods sent to branch. How much? 2,500. So 2,500 multiplied by 25 divided by 125. So the amount will be 500. Now make balance. So the balance is 2,94,490. but debit side there is a shortage of 24,890. This will be considered as profit for branch. If credit side is more than debit side, that will result into profit. In case if debit side is more than credit side, that will result into loss. In this problem, debit side is more than credit side, so which result into profit of 24,890. So this is the solution for problem number 2. Okay. Thank you, students.